Imagine waking up one day only to find that the world around you is crumbling. People are falling sick in droves, entire cities are being wiped out, and there's nothing you can do to stop it. The streets are filled with the cries of the dying, and the air itself feels thick with death. This isn't some fictional dystopian story. This is the grim reality faced by countless people during the deadliest plagues in history. If this sounds like something you need to know more about, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more shocking history revelations like this one. Your support keeps the stories of the past alive, and we appreciate every click. Now, let's uncover the dark truth about the deadliest plagues that changed the world forever. There is no plague in history that has been as devastating and as shocking as the Black Death, also known as the bubonic plague. This pandemic, which struck Europe in the mid-14th century, killed an estimated 25 to 30 million people, wiping out about 1/3 of Europe's population in a matter of months. The speed with which it spread was terrifying, but it wasn't just the numbers that made it so deadly. It was the sheer brutality of the disease itself. The symptoms were horrifying. It started with a fever, followed by headaches and fatigue. Then came the buboes, painful swollen lymph nodes that grew in size to the point of rupturing. People would often be bedridden for just a few days before dying. But it didn't stop there. Some victims were struck with the septicemic form of the plague, where the infection spread to the bloodstream, causing them to collapse within hours, their skin turning black and mottled, hence the name Black Death. The cause of the plague was later discovered to be Yersinia pestis, a bacterium carried by fleas that lived on rats. The plague's rapid spread was partly due to the crowded, unsanitary conditions in medieval cities. Rats, fleas, and humans lived in close quarters, allowing the disease to move quickly from person to person. But the true horror came not from the disease itself, but from the inability of medieval people to understand it. The absence of medical knowledge, the lack of proper hygiene, and the superstition that surrounded the plague made it almost impossible to stop. People resorted to bizarre and often deadly remedies, such as bloodletting, while others believed that the plague was God's punishment, leading to panic and mass hysteria. As entire villages were wiped out, the aftermath of the Black Death reshaped not only the population, but also the economic and social structures of Europe. With the workforce decimated, labor shortages forced up wages, leading to a series of economic changes. The feudal system started to weaken, and for the first time, the common people had some leverage over the lords and kings. But the price was steep, a world forever scarred by the memory of a plague that could strike at any moment. Fast forward to 1918, when the world was reeling from the aftermath of World War I. The global Spanish flu epidemic emerged, infecting 1/3 of the world's population and killing 50 million people in just a year. What made this flu different was not just the speed with which it spread, but the fact that it disproportionately affected healthy young adults, a group typically immune to most diseases. It was unlike any flu the world had seen before, and its pandemic nature made it one of the deadliest in modern history. The Spanish flu hit in 3 waves, the first in the spring of 1918, the second in the fall, and the final, most deadly wave in the winter of 1918 to 1919. Each wave saw an increase in death rates, and unlike most flu strains, this one didn't just kill the elderly or very young. Healthy 20 to 40-year-olds were particularly susceptible, and the virus attacked their lungs with such ferocity that it often led to pneumonia or suffocation. Victims would drown in their own fluids as their lungs filled with blood and mucus, and the loss of oxygen led to cyanosis, causing their skin to turn blue. The rapid spread of the virus was facilitated by the movement of troops during and after World War I, and the conditions of overcrowded military camps made it easy for the virus to spread. While World War I left cities devastated and hungry, the flu hit at the same time, further straining the already fragile healthcare systems across the world. Hospitals overflowed with patients, and cities were paralyzed as masks became mandatory. Schools and theaters were closed, and social distancing became the norm. Despite the similarities to the COVID-19 pandemic we faced recently, the Spanish flu was far more deadly due to its rapid spread and lack of medical knowledge at the time. The Spanish flu reshaped the way we view public health and pandemics, and its legacy continues to influence how we respond to modern-day health crises. Vaccines, quarantines, and social distancing, all these measures were used during the Spanish flu, which serves as a reminder of how fragile our existence can be when faced with an unseen enemy. Among the many deadly pandemics in history, few were as devastating as the cholera pandemics of the 19th century, particularly the Third Cholera Pandemic, which lasted from 1852 to 1860. This outbreak, like others before it, would spread with terrifying speed, claiming over 1 million lives worldwide, primarily in India, Russia, and Europe. Unlike the Black Death, which was spread by fleas and rats, cholera was caused by a bacterium called Vibrio cholerae, which thrived in contaminated water sources. The symptoms of cholera were gruesome. The affected person would vomit violently, followed by severe diarrhea, leading to rapid dehydration. Victims could die in as little as 24 hours from the initial symptoms. Infected individuals would become emaciated and weak, with their skin turning a grayish hue as they lost fluids. What made this pandemic particularly dangerous was how easily the bacteria spread, through fecal contamination of drinking water. In densely populated areas with poor sanitation, the disease was a constant threat. The Third Cholera Pandemic, although it wasn't as deadly as the Black Death in terms of the number of victims, had a major impact on medical knowledge. It was during this pandemic that the physician John Snow made the groundbreaking discovery that contaminated water was the source of the disease, disproving the old theory that it was caused by bad air, miasma. His work in mapping the locations of cholera outbreaks in London led to the eventual development of modern epidemiology and greatly improved the understanding of how waterborne diseases spread. However, the widespread outbreaks of cholera during the 19th century highlighted just how vulnerable humanity was to pandemics, especially in an era before antibiotics and sanitation systems. Cholera outbreaks continued to recur, ravaging poor communities until the development of modern water purification
Before the Black
systems.
Death,
There was
and the
another
discovery
plague
of antibiotics
that
in
laid
the
waste
20th
to the Byzantine
century.
Empire, the plague of Justinian. The year was 541 AD, and the Byzantine Empire, under Emperor Justinian I, was at the height of its power. However, the arrival of the plague shattered this empire's stability and marked the beginning of an early global pandemic that would last for centuries. The plague is thought to have claimed the lives of 25 to 50 million people across Europe, Asia, and Africa. far more than any contemporary conflict or disaster. The plague arrived at Egypt, carried by fleas on rats, and quickly spread through trade routes that connected Africa, Europe, and the Eastern Mediterranean. At the time, the Byzantine Empire was heavily reliant on trade to maintain its economic power, and this proved to be the perfect way for the plague to travel at an astonishing rate. Within months, it had infiltrated the port cities of the Mediterranean, including Constantinople, modern-day Istanbul, the heart of the Byzantine Empire, and one of the most populous cities in the world at the time. As with the Black Death centuries later, the symptoms of the plague of Justinian were horrifying. It would begin with fever, fatigue, and headaches, followed by the formation of large, painful buboes in the groin, armpits, and neck. Infected individuals would develop sepsis, leading to organ failure and death within a matter of days. In some cases, the disease spread to the lungs, becoming pneumonic plague, which could be spread through coughing, making it even more contagious. The plague of Justinian spread rapidly throughout the Byzantine Empire, causing widespread panic. Entire communities were wiped out, and labor shortages crippled the economy. In Constantinople, the capital city, the situation was dire. Thousands of bodies were piled in the streets as the city's hospitals became overwhelmed with patients. The plague attacked indiscriminately, killing people from all walks of life, including nobles and peasants alike. It didn't matter if you were rich or poor. Once infected, the plague was almost certainly a death sentence. What made this pandemic particularly devastating was its social impact. The Byzantine Empire, already struggling with internal conflicts and external threats from invaders like the Persians and the Germanic tribes, saw its power begin to erode. The plague weakened the empire's military, which had been fighting wars to defend its borders. With food supplies dwindling and the population decimated, the empire's ability to defend itself was severely compromised. The Roman Empire, which had been divided into the eastern and western parts, would soon collapse, and the Western Roman Empire would fall just a few decades later, leaving the Eastern Roman Empire, Byzantine, to decline under the pressures of the plague and other factors. One of the major reasons for the speed and devastation of the plague of Justinian was the lack of medical knowledge. The people of the time didn't understand how the disease spread. There were no antibiotics or advanced treatments, and quarantine measures were barely in their infancy. People turned to superstition and religious explanations, believing that the plague was a punishment from God. They sought prayers, penance, and holy relics, but the real solution lay in understanding sanitation and disease transmission, which wouldn't be discovered until centuries later. Despite the horrors of the plague, its effects were long-lasting. The plague of Justinian is believed to have contributed to the collapse of the Byzantine Empire's dominance in the Mediterranean. It caused a demographic shift, which led to economic instability and decline. The empire was never able to fully recover from the initial blow of the plague, and it would later succumb to invasions by the Ottoman Empire. What was once the most powerful civilization in the Mediterranean world became a mere shadow of its former self. But there was another lingering effect of the plague of Justinian. It served as a warning to future generations about how devastating pandemics could be. It set the stage for the Black Death in the 14th century, which would once again decimate the population of Europe. Despite advancements in medical knowledge, the world would continue to face the terror of diseases that seem to have no cure and no mercy. The deadliest plagues that have ravaged humanity's past serve as a testament to the fragility of human existence. From the Black Death that tore through medieval Europe to the Spanish flu that wiped out millions just over a century ago, and the plague of Justinian that weakened one of history's greatest empires, pandemics have shaped history in profound ways. While we have made significant strides in understanding how diseases spread, improving medical treatments, and developing vaccines, these historical pandemics remind us that the fight against disease is an ongoing battle. We must always be vigilant, as history has shown that even the most advanced societies can be brought to their knees by unseen enemies. If you found this video informative and fascinating, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with those who are interested in history's darkest moments. Hit the bell icon to never miss another deep dive into the past, and we'll see you in the next one.